All right.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Jip.
Hi, Karen. I'd love for you to chat in the.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Jip. Hi, Karen.
Yeah, Jip's coming to us from Kansas, Brad.
Oh, fantastic.
Jip has a grandson with autism.
Awesome.
How old's your grandson, Jip?
Oh, you're on mute, Jip. I'm gonna ask you to unmute. Jip, you're on mute. There you go.
My grandson, I believe, forgive me, is either 20 or 21 right now.
Okay. Awesome. I'm happy for.
Yeah, it's working. So
Great.
Awesome. Yeah, Brad's son Tristan just turned 19.
19 in March. Mm-hmm.
Late happy
Yeah.
birthday.
remember, I'm old, okay?
We've got people.
All about perspective, isn't it?
But you know, an athlete at one time said, he was a Filipino athlete, a boxer. He said, age is but a number. And I truly believe that. I have met people half my age, and I'm thinking, oh my God. And I have met people not twice my age, but older than I, who were still vibrant and still, and that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I believe in that. Age is just a number. After seeing my grandfathers, I was fortunate. My dad's dad lived till 94, and my mom's dad lived till 97. And just I kind of saw them, and they set a great example. So
my wife's aunt passed away at 97, still sharp as a tack. And at that point you say, wow. I mean, there's still so much potential there.
Yeah. Good genes. I hope all of us live long lives.
Rebecca, really quick, did you get Janice the link, that new mom?
I did. I believe I sent it to her. Yes.
Okay.
Mailed it to her.
Okay.
I can text it to you to text to her too.
Okay, perfect.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited for a new mom to be joining us.
Yeah, she's from Georgia. She woke me up this morning. They're 3 hours ahead, I think.
time difference there.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll jump in after I text this to Dana and do our intro, and then we'll just add people as they come in, because I know some people join in. And hello to everyone who's joining us from home. Okay, Dana, I just text that to you.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Joy, hi Joy. Oh my gosh, Joy is one of our moms. She said it's good to see everyone too. And congrats, Jeff, being named the sole proprietor of his business, Going the Distance. Ooh, Jeff, that's his
Right.
Wow,
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Congratulations. I love it. We've come such a long way. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and get started real quick. Let me load up these Lunch and Learn slides with a quick update from Autism Tree and a couple of Zoom rules for those of you who might be new or haven't joined in a while. Let me go to speaker. There we go. All right. So happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Lunch and Learn Wednesday, Lunch and Learn Day. A couple Zoom rules: please mute yourself when you're not speaking. We recommend speaker view for presentation. Video sharing is optional, though we love to see all your smiling faces. We really do. And then please type all questions and comments into the chat. We will have you're definitely welcome to interact with our guest speaker. This is the time for us to all connect and get to know each other and get to know our guest speaker. And you can ask any questions. You can unmute yourself at the end, as well as ask any questions in the chat, and I can read them off for you, whatever is easiest. A quick update from Autism Tree. We have had now since January 1st of this year, 487 brand new families that we added to the Autism Tree family. Those are families who have filled out an intake form since January 1st. So welcome to all of our new families. We offer 20 programs if you didn't already know, and 9 are in person, 7 are hybrid, and 4 are virtual. For those who live outside of San Diego County, we are still, doing our virtual and hybrid programs. So you're welcome to join us across the time zones. We have 10 upcoming program events coming up in August. Events this week, we're having our virtual coding workshop, which is this Saturday in the morning on Zoom. We also have our Project Sunshine Here to Play workshop, which will be in person, also on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And the coding workshop, I think, is at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then we also are really excited to finally launch our USD football mentor program. This Sunday, we're doing a meet and greet with the USD football team. So those of you who have signed up your kid to pair with a player mentor for the entire season, you're welcome to come and attend our meet and greet. We're going to be doing a beach day at I believe it's Mission Beach. Yes, Mission Beach, South Mission Beach by the jetty. And that's going to be on 8/13 from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. We'll pair every single kid with their player. So you get to meet the player one-on-one and then have fun at the beach with your player. So we're really excited. It's our 15th annual year doing that with the USD football team. So if you want to sign up for that, and you're welcome to sign up throughout the season as well. We invite all of our families to come to the home games, and for the USD football team at USD campus, and we all sit in the same section. We cheer on our players, and then we get to go down onto the field or outside the locker room after the game and hang out with their player. So it really is an opportunity to get to know them and develop that relationship and friendship with the USD players. We have 552 videos on our YouTube channel as of today and growing. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We post these lunch and learns every single week. We've done 128 of them now, and today is our 129th. I'm so excited and feel very privileged and honored to welcome back one of our guest speakers, Brad Benter, who's an Autism Tree father. I'm going to pass it off to Dana to say a few words before Brad jumps in about speaking about his son.
Thank you, Rebecca. It's really great to be with you guys. I cannot believe we are in August. I wanted to, I just took myself off the screen by accident. Darn.
Speaker view.
Yeah, I lost the link on my side.
We can still see you.
You can? I can't see you guys.
Go to the top right corner.
Okay, got it. Thank you guys. I just wanted to share, Rebecca and I have been working really hard on the neuroscience conference. So if you haven't registered, I would really love you to. It's going to be amazing. We have so many exciting updates that are happening, working with best-selling authors that are going to be part of the panels. 2 different ones, actually. One is an author who has autism. She's actually a local author, and Rebecca and I met her at a book signing in La Jolla. And she is pretty interesting. Her book has a character with autism, and she got diagnosed very late in life. She has kids and is married, and she's actually connected to a group of other children's authors throughout our country and other countries that have autism and write children's books. So there's so many interesting things that we'll be announcing coming up. But if you haven't registered, please look at that. We're also doing an event with Warwick's the night before with author Angie Kim with her new book. And the main character of that story that just is being launched this month for her, her book is called Happiness Falls. And the central character is not verbally fluent. And the story is that the father goes missing and his son that's not verbally fluent was with him. And so it's a really interesting story. And if you haven't met Angie, she's done a lunch and learn with Otto, and she is going to be having our own Otto Lana, who has his typers group, and they're going to have a discussion at Warwick's the night before our conference. So we're super excited about it. And with that, I want to say I always love connecting on Lunch and Learn. These Lunch and Learns are really part of our culture of staying connected, growing together, learning together, and just really being present. And then at the same time, building on the 20-year foundation that we have. And when I think about our speaker, Brad Benter, I think, Brad, from the first time I ever met you, which I think we were both at a luncheon at the Doris Howell Foundation luncheon or something in La Jolla, and I just thought, wow, what an amazing man you are, because it was pretty much all women. And I really liked that you were just so comfortable in that space and so easy to talk to. And I find that it's always that way with you. And I honestly do always learn something interesting from you in every conversation I've ever had. And last time we were with Brad, he was sharing with us about a new interest that his son Tristan has. And it really captured both Rebecca and I's attention and heart, because the level of dedication and maybe just sort of, sometimes I think as parents, we don't always follow our kids' interests. And certainly as they get older, we don't always follow our kids' interests. A lot of thing that we see constantly is burnout amongst our parents that have kids that are older. And so I really want to give Brad a lot of extra respect and love today, that his son Tristan's 19 and he is doing so many exciting things that is really showing independence and creativity and continues to push on his own path. But I love how Brad is very, very present with his son Tristan and very much encouraging him and learning on what is this path that he's interested in, which, we're always all growing and learning. So I think today it's an extra blessing that we're here together and we can learn from Brad. And I just want to say thank you, Brad, for being one of my favorite fathers at Autism Tree. I love the way you love your son.
Well, you're so kind. Thank you so much for the kind words. And also just as a note to let everyone know on the call here that you mentioned the USD mentor program. Well, Tristan, I think at the age of 6 or 8, somewhere around there, he got involved in that. And that was just such a great benefit for him and our family. And it kind of brought us into Autism Tree. And, we haven't looked back since. So we appreciate all you do and all the support that you give us and other families in this realm. So Tristan at 19, he just finished a 1-year internship at Terry Equestrian Center. It was a pilot program that they first of its kind, where they hire kids on the spectrum to perform just in this case, it was 2 culinary students and 2 equestrian students. So he just finished that up, and what he learned, he loves riding horses, but he kind of figured out that he didn't really necessarily want to work in that space. And so now he's kind of exploring some of these other areas that we'll get to. But where he kind of found this furry interest, he was looking for more friends, wants to be more social. So, my wife Gigi and I are going, that's great. We love that. So we try to help support him in any direction he wants to go with that. And he was looking online, and he having been around horses and furry animals there, he kind of gravitated toward furries on the internet, and through Instagram and YouTube, he kind of found a source and resource and a whole group of people that they call themselves furries, or fursonas, which is a persona with a fur outfit on. And so, my wife Gigi and I are just, okay, well, let's support him on this. And so he got interested. We first took him to a San Diego furry meetup. They have a whole group that meets downtown in Balboa Park, right next to the children's playground. And so what's neat is to see the children come up and interact. And the furries are a group of animated, when they have their fursuits on, they're animated. And it brings together a group of a lot of different types of individuals. And you can go on to the next one. So this picture here, I'm kind of going reverse order, but this is a snapshot of an event that we were just at. So I was talking about the beginning of the year, just starting getting involved in these furry meetups. Well, this is a picture of just last Saturday. We went up to Irvine, and they had a combination San Diego furry meetup versus meeting Irvine. And this was done in the Irvine Regional Park. It's a huge park. And so this is just half of the people that were there. All these different furries getting together and just sharing a common love to either be a different character, allows them some anonymity. It also gives them confidence as well, just because they're wearing a mask, and it helps kind of fortify that confidence factor. It breaks down any barriers that they might have and allows them to become either they don't have, some of them don't speak, some of them have squeaky toys. When they nod their head, they squeak. Yeah, so it's a lot of different, as you can see, and this is just the beginning of showing you some of these folks. But this is a friend of Tristan's that we brought with us, a girl that he met here at San Diego, and so we brought her up because she had an interest in that as well. So these 4 pictures are the most recent activity. This is all up in the Irvine Regional Park. There are some more shots of this past weekend. What they typically do at every furry, they call it a furry meetup, and they have set up a big tent where they call it a suit suite, where they're able to bring their suits along with them, and then they dress on site, usually putting their fursuits on over their clothes. So there's it's a nice, safe environment there, and that's what they brought us to these pictures here. So you have all different types of animals, everything from tigers to spotted leopards to panthers. And this picture on the far right here is just a snapshot of a group dancing. They had, at this particular event, they had DJ, and they were just dancing and having fun. So it's real family oriented. And they were playing games and all different kinds of activities, and they had a barbecue at this particular event. What you're seeing here is March was there's an actual convention, and so when Tristan first got into this, he was really looking at these conventions. So now he's so excited about this. He's got us planned for a convention in late October up in Reno. It's called the biggest little fur convention. And so he's already planning the next 3 or 4 of these, and we're just saying, hold on a minute. So we got a family plan to go up there and support him on this in late October. But what you're seeing here is this Texas convention. It was our first time going, and I was just being a helicopter dad, kind of hanging back up, in a chair against the wall and letting Tristan. These are shots of Tristan reaching out and being social with other individuals there at the convention. So it's just a sample of different suits. This the second one from the left, that suit is actually filled up with air. The individual had an air pack on, and so the body's in there, but most of it is just a big air suit. So there's my curious mind was looking at this as like, okay, so where's the money? Where do they, how's this all happening, and how's this supported financially? There is an active commerce where at these conventions they have a whole level where people are selling fursuits and all kinds of different types of products, and everything from clothing and apparel, all different things related to furries and fursuits. So I think that's been, the main part of the commerce. Tristan is connected with these artists that create a commission, they call it. So that costs about $100 or so to get a rendition of a creative fursuit. And then fursuits can run like this pink one, the third picture over from the left, or any of these. Actually, these are all full fursuits that run somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000 a piece. So it's not a inexpensive proposition for these the larger suits. Tristan was able to save some money from his work that he did at an internship, and then he kind of got involved in the commerce of it, where he bought this suit here on the left with me in the front, and that since has been traded out or sold, and he bought another one. So he's actively creating some commerce on his own, and he's learning a little bit about that by these events. Again, some more of that Texas fur con in the middle with Tristan's in this the pink highlighted ears, this woof. Yeah, good cursor move on that, Becca. And so those are partial fursuits where it's just the head and the paws. So those are a lot less expensive. And then, so this gives you an array of all the different types of personas that are there. This one on the left is in Balboa Park. Actually, the lower left is Balboa Park. The rest are in the Texas Marriott Hotel. So we actually stayed there for about, maybe 2-3 days. And Tristan he was able to have the confidence to walk up and chat with just about any one of these furries. And then, it's interesting to me, when he was about 8 years old, he was afraid of Halloween. Halloween was like the worst day of his life, just because he has what they call sensory integration disorder. And so he was very sensitive to even texture on the wall, that type of thing. And so he's very sensitive to any kind of costume. Well, fast forward, here he is wearing one. So I think that's a huge leap in progress for him. And it's interesting. It just gives us all hope for the younger kiddos that, some of these challenges that they may have, they may be able to cope and be able to alter the perception or the way that they're engaging with those outfits. Let's see. Another thing that Tristan has done and incorporated the furry interest is he is making mocktails. He likes to mix beverages, non-alcoholics, since mocktail versus cocktail, and he's actually naming them and creating new recipes with naming them names. He's asked permission of the other personas out there, and he's asked to get permission to name the drinks representing that particular persona. So it's another way for him. He wants to get a job now, either at SeaWorld or Legoland, as a character actor. And then also he wants to pursue his own business by making mocktails. So we're kind of guiding him on that, helping him realize that has to be something that in order to make money, you have to do a lot of volume in that area. So he might be something that he would take to, be more of a person that you would invite to your birthday party. He could run, maybe making mocktails at a birthday party and dress up as a persona at a birthday party. So, and that's kind of the update on where we are now with this. And it's been an interesting ride. We're certainly supportive, and when we go to these events, I usually kind of sit back. I'm kind of the helicopter dad, as I mentioned before, just I like, keeping an eye on things and making sure everything is going well for him. So, is there any questions or?
Yeah, I'm open it up to some questions from the audience. I know Jeff has been typing in the chat. Jeff, I mean, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and share more about what you were sharing in the chat.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, so I was telling my story about, being in the Brony fandom, and for those of you who don't know, Bronies are fans of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, and it's still going strong, nearly 4 years after it ended. But the thing that I remember the most about, one thing I learned from being in the Brony fandom was the importance of community, and people who are neurodivergent or developmentally disabled will try to find a community to be a part of, and sometimes you can bring it to a brony convention or a furry convention, because we're trying to be trying to hang out with people that are more geared towards a common interest. And I will say, Brad, that I mean, I get that you can be a little nervous that parents can be nervous if their child is interested in something that is not age appropriate. But it's important to remember that if that a career or a trade can come out of something like the furry fandom, and he's got a keen interest in doing fursuits and those kind of things. So that can, remember, you can lead, these roads can lead to a career. I mean, for me, it was being a writer and a public speaker. That's what I took from my time in the Brony fandom. So I think Tristan will be following a similar path.
Great. Well, I appreciate the feedback on that. And yes, I'm the only reason we're, there's any kind of any question is just more, security, that somebody that's not in that group could come in, these open public places.
Yeah.
But we found a lot of comfort with the group, and you're absolutely right. It's very strong, a sense of belonging, a community.
Yep.
And everybody kind of looks out for them. I noticed that the older personas kind of keep an eye on Tristan, because he's one of the younger ones.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you see everybody walking in just with their suitcases and everything with the outfits in them, and then they go into the suit suite and they come out, in their costumes. So you get to know people out of costume as well, and it's been great so far. So no, but I appreciate the feedback, certainly.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. I think that's really enlightening addition to like this conversation of like, you can view it as a stepping stone. Like the whole point is just to open more doors, and you can do that by meeting a community. Yeah, and it can always lead to something even better for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Like I was telling a friend here at work that Tristan had an interest in this, and he goes, "Well, my son works at Legoland and he's a character actor." I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Let's get that, let's explore that area. So it does provide, just a mention or conversation opens up doors, certainly broader communication.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. FYI, this is Twilight Sparkle. She's my favorite character for My Little Pony. So
That's awesome.
Great. Thank you for sharing.
I love that, all of that. I do have a few questions. Okay, so you mentioned that Tristan is one of the younger ones. What do you think are the age ranges that you've seen from your experience?
Could be from maybe 17, 18 to 50-ish. I mean, I've been hanging out with them for 6 months. I might even, put a fursuit on. I'm 61. No. But yes, there is that broad range. That not as many people in the 50s, but I think the core groups maybe between, mid-20s to mid-40s, probably pretty accurate.
And how did he find these groups? Was it like, I know you mentioned online,
All
but
online. Mm-hmm.
is it like Facebook groups or like,
Facebook, that's where he first got started. Facebook, San Diego Furry Meetup is the Facebook page. And then through YouTube, and he's become attracted to some certain furries that post a lot, and they have their different personas, and he kind of likes their activities and so forth, and so he kind of follows them, and just through that just connectivity, he's able to find out what's going on. And then there's fursuit conventions, and that's a whole different level. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that through those links and connections, he's been able to kind of find all this out.
and you mentioned the fursonas. So is that something like that they create for themselves, or are there like the same type of fursonas? I'm
There are similar, but what's interesting is that there's no real fursuit that is exactly the same.
okay.
So that's what's neat about this group, is that the artists, they can create and customize a fursuit, and then that becomes just that person's own design, and kind of they own that. And then he's made some trades where he's traded a couple of fursuits for some new ones. So the newest one, he traded a wolf for a unicorn. So and these are partial fursuits, not the full fursuits. And so yeah, there's a whole other level of commerce, that people are making some money making these suits and selling. They have classes, I think, online. You could go look at YouTube, and they have tutorials on how to make a fursuit. And we've even looked at doing that, but neither Gigi and I or Tristan are in that have that in our wheelhouse of talent. So I'm sure we could try, but it's faster probably just to buy one or trade. Yeah.
Does Tristan have his own fursona? Would you say, like, have you seen him like differently?
Well, he doesn't have a different voice, so he hasn't become the actor or persona in that suit. He's Tristan in the suit. So I think as time goes on, he may develop certain characteristics of the fursuit that he's wearing. Right now, his Facebook and Instagram handle is uh, Panther Fire Snow. And so on there, he's got his two favorite fursuits, a red panther and then a kind of spotted snow cat. And so from that, he's developed he's even thought ahead to his own brand of mocktail, where he's thinking fire and ice. And so he came up with a creative name of Flaming Tundra mocktail. So this has really kind of sparked a lot of this creative energy, which is great. And so we're supporting it. We're going to see where it leads. We'd like to see him lock into a job, like Jeff was saying, that at some amusement park perhaps as a specific character. But we're open to kind of supporting him on however that flows.
Something in entertainment? I feel like there's a lot of possibilities out there.
He's used to talking into the camera for sure.
I know Tristan had his own YouTube channel as well, right?
Did. Mm-hmm.
Is it
Tristan that he deleted all the videos. I was sad to see that, but it showed him when he was a smaller child with puffy cheeks and a high voice, and now he's taller and has a lower voice. So it was neat to be able to go on there and kind of see the transition, see the change over the years.
Yeah.
So,
Does he still want to create videos in his furry suit? Has he showed interest
he's making mocktail videos, actually. So all you see are the glassware and his hands, like like you see, it's pretty popular on YouTube, where you have life hacks or those types of things that are just show the hands doing the action. But he's getting there. I think he's back to he does have um, one of these lights that he uses, and puts his phone in there, and he's good to go. Just I think he's just kind of starting uh, to put that back on camera.
And
Brad, what advice do you have for parents? I know Jeff kind of brought up a little bit, but what advice do you have for parents in the process that you've gone through to
Mhm.
accept something so sort of out of the box? I mean, upon first starting, like, how is it for you as a parent in the starting of this journey to where you are now? And what advice do you have maybe to some
That's a
parents?
that's a great question, Dana. Yeah, because at first we're like, furries, what are you talking about? We didn't know this. We didn't have any idea. And so we kind of took a look into it, and we said, okay, well, with measured enthusiasm, we try to keep it, toned down, and just kind of um, took it one step at a time. We didn't want him to just go all in. And so it was more measured, more calculated. And once we got a comfort level, we went to the San Diego furry meetup first. Um, Met a few of the people there, saw the activities that were going on, and that's how we got a comfort level with it. But I think it's just, supporting your kid or child on this, and then being there through that process, instead of just dropping them off and letting them, be back in a little while. I think just being there, at least, um, with my wife Gigi, I just took that on as something. I just said I'll be with him, and bring sandwiches, and so he could. And during these furry meetups in San Diego, I'm distanced myself from the group, so I'm kind of this really kind of on the sidelines, if you will, so that I'm not involved, and just kind of letting it be his own thing to explore. And I'm trying not to have any influence, and let that kind of just develop organically with his interaction. So I think a lot of that is the advice would be to, support, um, and expect, as far as the suits and the costs. Tristan was working, and he's had some savings. Um, Maybe dip your toe into that a little bit and start off with a smaller layout of expense at first, and make sure that your child, that's something that they want to do. Because once you get into it, they can actually, sell one suit and buy another one to replace it. So there is some level of business acumen that is learned through that process. So yeah, just a lot of support, a little bit of flexibility, and openness to just new things, and openness to the unexpected, and being able to embrace that.
Yeah, and I think you're really illuminating, kind of one of our core pillars. Our four core pillars are: we embrace every family, and then connect every family to resources, which what you're doing right now is helping our families of maybe this potentially people have a child that already likes dressing up or theater. And this is just such a great idea of like sharing these connections and empowering. You're
Mm-hmm.
really empowering Tristan, and then you're letting him create. And those are our four pillars at Autism Tree: EC, embrace, connect, empower, create. And I really, really love how you are doing that, and how you see where you started and where you are now. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's the model of what we want to see all of our families be able to do with the person they love with autism at really any age in their life.
Mm-hmm.
So I really can't say enough how grateful I am that you're sharing all this.
Well, thank you for allowing me to share. It's a growing, um, ongoing learning process, as we all know. And in this case, we found something that, or Tristan found something that he really likes. So we're supporting him as he gravitates toward that. And, Gigi, my wife, thinks that this may be a phase. He may be something he just kind of dips his toe in for a little while, and then might find something else that that, beyond this, that maybe accelerates his path. But before this, it was Nerf guns. Believe it or not, he collected all these Nerf guns, and then they started to want to buy and sell them. So he's got that kind of a knack for trade at some level. So yeah, we're just on, holding on and supporting. And if this lasts for a while, great. And if it doesn't, then we'll be ready for the next topic or interest that he has. So
I love that you brought up the fact that like you see his strengths, of course, like trade being one of them, and how that's growing and evolving, with his different interests, and it's like gaining even more strength,
Exactly. Yeah.
Jeff, you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yes. Brad, if you want to discuss more about this, I mean, like I have firsthand experience with phantoms like this. So if you want to discuss more, and if anyone wants to discuss more, I can put my email in the chat wall, and we can, and I could, offer you my, my firsthand experience, just to kind of, help you walk you through the process of,
Great. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely.
Yep. So I'm going to put it in the I'm putting it in the chat wall right now.
Okay. Thank you.
I also want to bring up, you mentioned this a little bit about, safety concerns. Are there any things that you did with Tristan to help address those, or something that you've learned that you would recommend for families if they are concerned about any sort of safety?
Just, we have kind of a family moral compass check, kind of run through those things, and just to have him be aware. And that's why we're there, is that, at first I was, watching everyone all the time. And then last time, I felt comfortable with the group, that, he knew where to go. And, I actually was able to take a 10-minute nap or something, so that just shows you that progression of comfort, where that, it's not the group itself, it's other people outside, depending upon where where you are. Like, we were up in Irvine last weekend, San Diego, Balboa Park, there's all kinds of people traveling through. So there's always that heightened awareness of that safety level, just making sure that, some strange person that's not involved in the group could come in. I think that's the biggest security challenge. But other than that, we're feeling very comfortable with the group, having been to conventions and, seeing their activity.
I love that they're like embracing of Tristan too, just like,
yeah, it's like the older ones will kind of watch out for him, it seems. And there's a couple leaders to the group that kind of run the show, and then there's definitely a monetary benefit to running conventions. So those people are on a different, more of a national scale, and I haven't really interacted with those folks as much, but that's probably something that we'll be doing in later October. Yeah.
I love it. Well, I love to see the progress from your first lunch and learn, talking about Tristan's, involvement with the horses and at Terry and everything. And now, we've, like so many of our families have, they have to pivot when their kid has, has a different interest. And
Sure.
Still so many, positive things have come out of it. And it's growing. And it's
just got to try what works, and if it doesn't, it's not it's not measured or judged, it's just a shift. And okay, let's go look at the next one. That's how we have to approach it.
I love it so much. Does anyone have any more questions for Brad? Or thanks, Jeff, for including that.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other last minute questions or comments from anyone in the audience? I have a few new families. No? Okay. Well, if you ever do, if you have more questions, you can definitely reach out to me, and I can forward questions to Brad, and we can get back to you. I think this is a beautiful, we're always looking for more communities of people who love our families and our kids and what they want to do. So thank you, Brad, for bringing attention to this and in such
Thank
a
you for having me. Let me share. I'll keep you posted as time goes on.
Yeah, Joy just said, really appreciate the sharing. My interest, very interesting and great to see a supportive family. 100%. 100%. All right. Well, I'd love to take a group picture of everyone. Karen says, Brad, you're a great dad.
Thank you. I'm feeling blessed.
Oh, good. Emily says, thank you so much for sharing. We're just beginning our journey as well. Oh, well, welcome, Emily. I'm so glad. Hi, Janice. Yay. Okay, wonderful. Well, if you'd like to share your screens, I'd love to take a group picture. We can take some, bring some smiles to this picture. All right. Ready? Big smile at the camera. I'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, cheese. Perfect. Yay. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brad, again.
Great. Thank
you
you.
so much, Brad.
Hope you all have a wonderful day.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.